buttons.
That would help.
There we go.
Like,
It's
what I do wrong?
Yeah, if you could back up a little bit too. Only because I'm thinking that I know it might not work, it might not. But you got to pull the mic a little bit. That's why I had to extend it. I know you were messing with the computer, so you messed with it a little bit that way.
Yeah, I was being nosy.
But I'm just figuring, I'm thinking like angle wise, so that you're not as turned sideways, and I'm, we're just a little bit better talking wise. Well, they get to see more of yours without being cut off. Because I feel like sometimes you get cut off on that side.
Well, yeah, because I do a lot of like the so.
Yeah,
if,
so that's
if
why I was
can't
trying
lean
to get
back
you to
'cause of the
like
wire, yeah,
or to go back a little bit. So I was like, it's probably easier to get him to go back than to come this way. So that's why I was like,
yeah.
But either way, pre-show nonsense.
Pre-show nonsense.
So, yeah, we got too much to talk about this week to get too deep into pre-show nonsense, but hope you had a good week, my friend.
I mean, yeah. I'm alive. I'm standing. The baby's healthy. The wife is healthy. Can't ask for much more. You know what I mean?
There you go.
How about yourself, my friend?
Same. Doing all right. So, yeah. Just, weird week of sports, but I'm happy because to be honest, it's just sports ramping back up is what I feel like. So let's hit some music. Let's have some fun. I was gonna try to do something pre-show, but you know what? I'm gonna save it for the end of show because I think it's just gonna make us all laugh and we're all gonna have some fun with it. So rather than start, we're gonna end with it. It's gonna be a little surprise, Dave, but Dave loves this anyway, so I'm not even worried. Dave's gonna love it. Everybody else out there will probably love it too.
I mean.
I'm going to mash something up, and it's going to be good.
Okay, because I hate to admit this. You owe me a slap.
Oh, I do. A butterbean.
You owe me a butterbean.
I got a butterbean up there with your name on it.
You owe me the butterbean slap, and
I'll let you decide. We don't have to do that
another
today.
reason for me to dislike LeBron James. Like, if we're being honest, like I mean, like I've had a pretty long. Honestly, I don't even have a long list. Like, it's just you stop my.
Well, we're gonna get into LeBron.
Yeah, all right.
So we're gonna because we're gonna we got Sixers to touch on.
Yep.
So let's hit some music. Let's get going. Let's have some fun.
Let's do it. Let's rock and roll. Bam.
It's good to be back. Yeah.
2 weeks in a row now.
Hey.
After like 4 weeks off. So we're rocking and rolling.
We'll be back again next week, too.
We'll be back again next week. It's the following week where I got to do
Wednesdays.
Wednesday.
But either way, we're back on a weekly schedule.
We're back to a weekly schedule for at least the
weekly
foreseeable
scheduled programming, which can bring us to, I guess, our first topic of the day. And if we're going to go with our first topic of the day, only because the schedules just came out. And everybody's, oh my God, I saw a billion tweets today about Christmas Day, blah, blah, blah. But the one that caught most people, was opening day. You're going to have LeBron sitting there watching the Knicks get their rings, because Knicks in 5, baby. Knicks in 5.
Knicks in 5, baby. Knicks in 5.
So, yeah, that to me was pretty interesting because I'm sitting here going like, well, that's it. But again, I expected the NBA to do this. They want eyes on LeBron. They want eyes on his last season or last 2 seasons, whatever it's going to be.
God willing his last. I mean, at some point.
They want all the attention there. So to pair that up with the Knicks opening night, it just made sense. But again, this is why they delayed with who was going to play the Knicks first. Because if you would have chose the Heat, it probably would have been the Heat. It probably would have been wherever LeBron landed.
Which sadly was not LA.
To be honest, I don't give a shit. Because you know what? It's probably going to be the first and only time you see Maxey, Edgecombe, LeBron, Brown, and Embiid all in a game at the same time.
Probably.
So great. They might have a great night one. And maybe they catch us sleeping because we're still celebrating. I don't care. I still don't look at this Sixers team as better than the Knicks. I'm sorry. The addition of Jaylen Brown, great. But Embiid still is Embiid. And you're not going to win with his process. I'm sorry. You and LeBron is old, but again, you only have one basketball. Is Jaylen Brown getting it? Is Maxey getting it? Is Edgecombe? Like, you only got to worry about one player at a time. So I'm sorry. I got to tell you, I really don't care about LeBron in Philly. And I don't care or think that it makes a big difference in what it's going to do for Philly season. This isn't LeBron of 10 or 20 years ago.
It's crazy to say 20 years ago.
This is LeBron now, and I'm
Oh, my
sorry, but
God.
LeBron now is a different player. He's a good player. He's going to add to whatever team. I'm not saying he's bringing Philly down, but at the same point, do I think he's giving you 82 games? I don't. Do I think Embiid's giving you 50 games? Maybe. Do I think Maxey and Edgecombe are going to have to handle most of the load while getting the least amount of credit because Jaylen Brown's going to want his after Embiid and LeBron? How long is this nucleus going to be able to stay together? Because, like I said, part-time Embiid, LeBron going to be your new facilitator, Jaylen Brown going to want to be your new superstar, and Edgecombe and Maxey sitting there looking at each other going, wait, we're the two youngest and brightest, and yet we're taking a back seat to all these guys. They're not a team. They're a collection of good players. They're a collection of possibly great players. They are not a team. And that's the one edge that where I will look at this Knicks team of shy of bringing back Mitch, which instead of bringing back Mitch, they brought in Andre Drummond, who is right there with Mitch as far as offensive rebounding, defensive rebound, all the stats that Mitch was bringing.
Little drop in defense.
Slight, but not
little
much.
drop in just because of the age factor and the athleticism too.
But as far as availability,
and your free throw shooting, he's not a liability on the free throw line. Nowhere near.
Again, I think that it's yes. Did we lose a little something because I liked Mitch? Absolutely. Was he the longest tenured Knick at 8 years? Yeah, but again, we talked about it prior to the offseason. Like, if he's going to get his money, you can't fault the guy for getting his money. You want him to stay together. You want him to take the hometown discount because he just won here. You want him to do certain things. But when you're talking about generational money and a guy who's already 8 years in the league and probably isn't going to get another chance at a big contract after this, has to take it. So I can't look at and be mad at Mitch. Not
at all.
But do I look at this, the Knicks team is still a team? Yeah, because they kept every other piece. They kept Shamet. They kept Alvarado. They kept Deuce. They kept everybody else is still here and still together.
Yeah, I mean, out of your 14-man roster,
Cat may be willing to sacrifice a little bit to stay too and want to stay here. Sounds that way. I don't know if it's true. We'll have to wait and see. But he's another guy that I don't know if he's getting max money going anywhere else. To be honest, at his age, with his own, it's getting up there now. To be honest, if he would get a max deal, or if he would just get another big contract from somebody, so maybe the Knicks just offer him that big contract. Again, but that's next year's props. Yeah. This year, they're the team. They're a team. You look at them, they're like the Pistons were. They're like certain teams were. Like even you look back on the Spurs teams or like other teams, they were teams.
Yes, when you keep and it's not just the core, right? Like you're talking down the bench, right? And guys that...
Philly's not a team.
No, Philly is a collection of talented players put together, and you've seen how that works out. I mean, think back all those years ago. Remember when you brought in Gary Payton and Dwight Howard to join Kobe Bryant, and you're like, oh man, look at this super team. Like, oh my God. Like, but there's a difference to it, right? Like, and that falls on the coach, right?
Absolutely.
That 100% falls on the coaching staff to make them a team. And with LeBron being the veteran presence and LeBron being LeBron, like, I also think it partially falls on him as well. And that's the one thing that I will say that helps Philly is LeBron is much more comfortable being a facilitator than the primary scorer. Like that was the big knock on him early in his career. And that's, when you look around at any team he's had success in, there was somebody else that really was the primary scorer for the team.
But did Philly need a point forward right now though? That's the difference. I don't look at him and say like that was a need for this team. They didn't need a guy bringing the ball up the floor.
I won't say it was a need, but it doesn't hurt. Right?
No, but it also doesn't make him the best one to do it either. He's going to do it because he's almost like got seniority, but that seniority doesn't make him the best player available to do that job on the court.
I mean, who else are you going to put there? Like, I mean, there's not...
Jaylen Brown to me is as good a ball handler as he is. All these guys are Maxey, Edgecombe.
I will agree with that, but Jaylen Brown's game is more focused around scoring. Maxey's game is more focused around scoring. LeBron's game... for basically his entire career has been more focused around, I'll score if I have to, but I'd rather get others involved. And I think that
that's the way he's become late. It's not the way he was early.
That's how he was extremely early. He was much more of a facilitator.
He never even came close to leading the league in assists or anything else. It's not like he was sitting here. Let's not make him out to be a 10 assists a game guy and a triple-double walking. He never was that. He was a 4 or 5 assist guy.
No, he wasn't. Oh, my God. Look at his
career stats. Let's pull up his career stats.
Top 5 in NBA history in assists.
Well, only because of longevity, not because of assists per game.
Oh, my God.
If you play for 30 years, yeah, you're going to have just about every record. Let's look it up. I want to see what LeBron is. I bet you he is under 7 assists a game lifetime.
You are wrong, my friend.
You think he's above 7 assists lifetime?
7.5 assists per game for his career.
7.2.
7.4 for his career. 7.2 last season.
All right. So you got me by half. You got me by a half.
But he's literally a walking triple. 27, 7, and 7. I mean, I don't really know how much closer to
questioning his greatness. I'm questioning his age at 40-something years old that he's not putting up those numbers anymore.
And that's a different point from what you just said.
No, because he's not coming in and facilitating 10 assists a game where you need, with a guy, with the weapons you have around you, Philly should be having a guy walk the ball up the floor getting 10 assists a game.
He is going to be their point forward. He is going to play a Magic Scottie
I'm not
Pippen
arguing with you. Yes, he is going to do that, but is he but I'm saying, is he the best fit on that team? Because I don't think he is.
Who on that team else is going to do it? Jaylen Brown is not that guy. He wasn't that guy in Boston.
I think any of them are better than LeBron at this. I got to be honest. I think LeBron's age and his ego are in the way here. LeBron's age and ego are going to cost Philly the championship he thinks he's going to bring.
LeBron's only reason to be there is to try and win a he's chasing rings at this point. There's no question about it. And I definitely agree with the fact that I don't think this team is going to go win a ring due to what you just literally said that started this conversation. They're not a team. They're a collection of talented players. We agree there. LeBron James is a great fit to be a distributor over a scorer for any team, whether it's this team or you put him on.
But he's still always been a primary scorer than a facilitator. I'm sorry. You could, the stats say it. He scored over how many points a game? 20-something points a game.
27 points.
He was a scorer. That's what he did. He was a scorer. Come on, man.
He has been a walking triple-double his whole career. One of his biggest knocks earlier in the year his career was the fact that
Caitlin Clark's more of a working triple-double than he is.
He always passed the ball over taking the shot. That was the biggest knock on LeBron
because
to start
he was scared to take the shot.
That was what everybody said.
Not because he was a great facilitator, but because he was scared.
He is a very, very good passer. The one thing I would always say, like that, when everybody gives me the argument, LeBron, Jordan, blah, 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 blah. LeBron is a better passer than Jordan was.
Doesn't make him a better player.
But I completely... You know me well enough. I will never say LeBron's better than Michael Jordan. But LeBron James' biggest knock early in his career was that he always looked to pass before he looked to shoot. He's been a facilitator his entire career.
But he's scared.
When you're 6'8", 6'9", 260, and as athletic as him, dropping 26, 28 points in a game is not hard to do. It's not. He has been a walking triple-double his entire career. He's not a great shooter. He's just not. I mean, he's a 50% shooter from the field. He's under 35% from three. He's under 75% from the free throw line. He's not a great scorer. He just is that much bigger and faster and stronger.
No, he
than
was.
Every person on the yes, he was.
He's
Fair.
not anymore.
But I'm just,
that's where I'm going with it because I'm looking at this Phillies team. I'm looking at what he's bringing to this team. And if this team thinks that he's bringing LeBron from 10 years ago, they're wrong. It's not that LeBron. And they think they're getting that LeBron. They're celebrating like they've gotten that LeBron. And that, to me, is where I need everybody from Philly to pump the brakes.
Oh, yeah. Because I'll agree with you there.
You are not getting that LeBron.
No.
You are getting the...
You're getting
41-year-old
LeBron James.
A LeBron who's going to get in the way more than he's going to help this team. And that's just a fact. I'm sorry. Maybe I'll be wrong at the end of the year.
I do think you're going to be wrong, but last time I bet on LeBron doing something, I earned myself
a butterbean slap.
A butterbean slap. So I'm not going to bet.
You keep betting on LeBron.
I'm not going to bet anything of high stakes on this. To be very, very clear here, Okay, and I just want to make sure I'm very
We're
clear with
agreeing
this
on
statement.
more than we're disagreeing, even though it
yes.
seems like we're disagreeing. There's
And-
very much
yes,
here
to
that
be
it's
very
agreed
clear,
upon.
I think LeBron James can do a very good job at point forward for the Philadelphia 76ers.
How good a job? How far is Philly getting? That's what that's what it all comes down to. Do they win that championship?
I don't think they get out of the second round.
Okay.
Like I think they'll win the first round. I think they'll be a top 4 team in the East, so they'll have home court advantage. But I say that with the thought process of saying
Trust the process.
LeBron stays healthy and can give you at least 65, 70 games. Odds of that are pretty slim. Embiid can give you 40 to 50. Odds of that are pretty slim. Maxey most likely should be able to give you almost a whole season, right? He's still young as shit, right? And Edgecombe, right? Like, and then Jaylen Brown should be able to give you about 65 to 70-ish games, maybe, right? Like, and
he should give you 82.
So me saying then get out of the second round is all of those things happening. And as you can tell by me making these statements, I'm not confident that all of these things are going to happen. And if there's any team that's going to look at this and say, we'll go with load management and we're going to protect them and keep them healthy so that they're healthy for the playoffs, well, it goes back to our original point. If you don't let these guys play as many games together as humanly possible before the playoffs, you are without a doubt getting knocked out because you are nothing but a group of really good, talented players, but you're not a team. And that is a LeBron. We always talk about this, right? Basketball is probably the only game where one single guy can completely turn a franchise around. One single guy can take a team from 20 wins to 40 wins to 6, like, can take them from not making the playoffs to being in the, like, one guy can do that in basketball. With that said,
you mean this guy? This guy?
That's a very young version of him, but yes. But LeBron James is no longer that one guy, right? Like, he is a piece that pretty much any NBA franchise would be happy to take, but he's not the. I don't see how you can look at him and say, if we add him to our team, nothing can stop us. 5 years ago, I'd say, yeah, I'll give you that. 10 years ago, I'd definitely give you that. 15 years ago, I'd 100% give you that. We're not there anymore. We're 41, 42. You know, like, he's done. He's at the point where it's more like
there's one team he would have went to that I think it would have made that difference. One team that I think his experience could have had a significant impact on, and only one, because of their age and what they were able to accomplish last year. I think that's the Spurs. If he had gone and joined the Spurs instead of joining the Sixers, I think his experience with Wemby, with Castle, with those guys could have that experience there could have made a difference. I don't think his experience going to Philly makes a difference because Embiid's already set in his process. Like, Jalen's already coming in with his chip on his shoulder. Like, all these people are still coming in with their where the Spurs were already a team that was starting to gel, young guys, young core. And then you bring in that, which is what they kind of tried to do with De'Aaron Fox, but didn't really work. But I think that's why I think it would have went over better if they could have brought in a LeBron, and you pair a LeBron with a Wemby, and then with all these other young guys, stars, studs that people look at and go, man, that team is on the up and up, on the upcoming. I think that's where his experience could have made a difference. Well, outside of that, I think going to Golden State would be the same as going to the Sixers. I think it would have been a great collection of guys, but again, not a team.
I couldn't imagine him and Draymond playing together, but at the same time, I thought him and Steph wanted to play together that bad that that's what was going to happen. Yeah. But either way, right? Like, yeah. I think, very simply put, just to that point, right? Because I mean that's a whole nother, like, multiverse theory, right? Mm-hmm. Like, in this universe, when he went there, right? Like, I think it's an organizational standpoint too, right? Like, it's not just the players on the court or the head coach, right? It's all the way up to ownership, general manager. Like, Philly has been, right. We heard trust the process a decade ago now, right? And that process has blown up multiple times and not yielded anything. And look, Embiid is one of those guys that is filled with a bunch of talent, but he can't stay healthy, and at times he's a guy that just kind of checks out, right? And one of my favorite sayings, especially working in sales, right? One of my favorite sayings, and it started with sports that I heard it from, right? Is that hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard, right? And that's how I look at Embiid, right? That's why there are guys out there that aren't maybe as talented as him on a basketball court, but they've had better careers so far because they put in the work that Embiid feels he doesn't need to because of his God-given talents, right? But either way, look, I love the opening matchup, and you missed it in the chat because me and you really kind of got into this, probably more than either one of us expected to, right?
No, I expected to get into it because I expected you to ask me about it, and I knew I had some opinions.
But like, I think the ceremony, though, that's what was going on in the chat, right? Talking about the ceremony, and I think this ceremony is going to be a spectacle. Like, it's MSG, it's the New York Knicks. It's been so long since they've won a championship, and I know they did things with the older players during the parade, but like, I really hope the older players are on the court with them and they get to be there as the banner goes up, and that'll be the last that game will be the last moment that I root for the Knicks from the past playoffs, right? For two reasons. One, I just don't want to see LeBron get another ring just because I don't think he deserves one. I don't like players that jump all over the place. Like, this is like, that to me is going to be the biggest tarnish on his legacy. Is
He's
the
been
fact
ring
that
chasing since
everywhere,
2010.
ever since he went to Miami, and not one, not two, not three, you got two. Good for you. Like, congratulations, right? Then you go to Cleveland. That was the one championship he won that I won't say I was happy to see, but I respected it, right? You go back to Cleveland, you win with Kyrie, who was drafted by Cleveland and stayed in Cleveland, and maybe it's it's just not the league anymore, right? Now these guys will bounce all over the place. There's not not as many players have that true commitment to the franchise that takes them. Sometimes they want to go to a different state because of no income tax, or sometimes they want to go to a different state because of nicer weather, or they want to go play with their buddy that they played AAU ball with back in middle school or high school, right? Like, whatever, right? That takes away from your legacy to me. Unless he literally, one in Miami, one in Cleveland, one in Los Angeles, wins here, wins there. His one in LA, I don't even really like that. That was the bubble. That was the bubble year. Like, that year was like, half the players in the league didn't even want to play that year. They were just like, this is freaking ridiculous. You're playing in. Basically, they played pickup games that were televised. Like, that's really what you watch. So I don't really count that one. Yes, it counts as towards his career and all that, but I don't like the bouncing around. I know it's more of an old school mentality, right? The generation coming up now, that's all they know about basketball. Like, it's normal for them, right? For us, you watched Ewing stay with the Knicks through the ups and downs, through injuries and good
It killed
and bad,
me when
right?
he went to Seattle,
Yeah,
and then I barely even remember when he went to Orlando after that. Like, it was like. But to me, that's like Montana ending his career in Kansas City, or
right.
other thing. Like, you
But
just
yeah, when
the
team gets rid of you,
or
that's
even
out of your
Favre,
control.
more recently for people that are
Oh my
more
God.
like younger, like
his pit
Favre.
stopping with the Jets just so he can get to Minnesota.
Like, it just all of that nonsense. Like, but you remember him as a Packer. You remember, like, it's just. I don't know. I'm with you there that it could tarnish his legacy. It's one of those things that, you're bouncing around, you ring chase him. But again, at this point, I 100% agree with something you said a little while ago. He's a second round player now. Like, that's where I look at this team. I'm with you. And again, some we're going to agree on. I think the ceiling for this team is the second round.
Yeah.
And I think that maybe that's good enough for them and they're happy. But and that seems to be where LeBron's landed the last, 4 years or so, 5 years, but. Since that bubble, that's kind of where he's been getting bounced. Like,
and look,
I don't know. That's where I think they're second floor ceiling. So I agree with you. So we're in the same boat.
And don't get me wrong, there is the chance that this coaching staff nails it and this team comes together, and all of a sudden we're like, oh shit, they're pushing 60 wins.
The talent is there.
It's completely there. But the other thing too, right? What do you have behind these four guys? Right? What are you really looking? Because you saw, like, when you look at the Knicks, right? The biggest difference between winning the championship this past season and the previous seasons with Thibodeau was that bench was not trusted by Thibodeau, so they didn't play. And when Mike Brown comes in and he trusts the bench and the teammates trust the bench and these guys come in for 5-minute spurts, 3-minute spurt, it doesn't matter. It is. You need more. You got to be able to shuffle guys in and out, or injuries or load, whatever the hell it happens. who's behind
Or
them?
if you're
Do they
up by
have that?
30,
Can
get
they
your
hold
guys
it?
out.
Yeah, and can
Like,
they hold on to that
yeah.
lead? Now in the NBA, with the way they shoot threes, a 30-point lead isn't what it was in the 90s
No, but I'm just
anymore.
saying, like, but that's where, like, Thibodeau would still be leaving starters in. Like, you can't get out. Like,
Derrick Rose. I mean, they were up 10. There was like 3 minutes left, and the game was pretty much how the momentum was going. You could have taken him out, and if it got a little close, put him back in. But I think that injury happens to Rose no matter what.
Absolutely.
Right?
And I think there is a time and a place for it, because and not to transition us here, but to get us to football. But this kind of reminds me right now of what's going on with Harbaugh. And Harbaugh's bringing a different mentality to the Giants, of a Thibodeau type mentality of every other camp they've gone to, they've done camps up here or whatever, like right around the stadium. Harbaugh took them down to West Virginia, and they practiced for, I think it was 11 or 12 days straight. Every day. Pads, everything. Like, the Giants hadn't done that in 10 plus.
Yeah, I heard
Like,
Scadaboo's interview.
You
About
haven't
how
seen that.
Yeah.
Like, it was hard. Like, they went down there and they worked, and it was football, and there was nothing else around. Like, where they were in West Virginia was like rural West Virginia. Like, I heard there wasn't even like a CVS. If you needed medication, you had to go to like the next town over to get it. You couldn't even get it where they were at here. So, I mean, like, I think Jordan Ronan said that, or so one of the guys that was covering camp said that, like, that it was remote. Like, so you were focused.
Yeah.
And you were putting in the work. And another thing about Harbaugh, set a record with, or I don't know if you call it a record, but like preseason wise, 24 straight wins in the preseason. Like, Harbaugh cares about even the preseason and about winning and about, some people look at it as, well, you're like Thibodeau, you're grinding the guys. You're grinding them into the ground too early in the season. But I look at it as, this Giant team has sucked for the last 12 years. Been absolutely one of the worst teams, if not the worst team in the NFL.
Just the Jets.
They need to learn how to win again, and they need to learn how to be tough again.
Yeah.
So if they need a coach to come in and kick their ass for the first year or two, or to get this thing back on track, then that's what we got to do. Yeah. And if you're not on board for that, and if you're not on board for the hard work and what it takes to be a champion, then I'm sorry. We're gonna weed those guys out, and we're gonna get new guys in, and we're gonna get guys who fit this process, and we're gonna turn this back into a winning organization. Yeah. And that's what Thibodeau did for the Knicks. And I don't want people to ever lose sight of that. Without Thibodeau, we don't get to Mike Brown, and we don't get to the championship. Without Thibodeau and Brunson taking the Knicks taking a chance getting Brunson here, and Thibodeau coming in and being that coach to push him, because I think he pushed him to work hard. I think he pushed him to be a better player. I think he pushed him to be more of a leader.
Yeah.
I think it was a lot of Thibodeau there. And it's because of Thibodeau that they were able to transition to a Mike Brown, ease up on some of the things that Thibodeau was doing. Like you just pointed out, Mike Brown's much better at utilizing his bench, not grinding certain guys into the ground, and took what Thibodeau was able to do and built off of it. Didn't tear it down, didn't start from scratch, took what Tibbs did and built off it.
He was he was the Mark Jackson.
So like even if Harbaugh isn't the guy to bring the Giants a championship, if he's the Tibbs, if he's the guy who can right the ship, then I am forever grateful to Harbaugh for that. And I think that what he's doing now with the Giants completely relates to that. And I think that's what he's trying to build here. And I respect it. I'm for it. Let's see it. And again, if it's starting to rub some people the wrong way, then guess what? Those aren't our kind of people. There's the door.
Yeah. No, it's funny you bring that up because apparently this year at the end of every practice, Schottenheimer's making the players run and work on their conditioning. And one of the beat writers I follow said the last time that he watched the Cowboy coach do that was Parcells, right? So like kind of that similar idea. Now, if we're comparing coaches, I don't think Schottenheimer holds a candle to Harbaugh or Parcells. But it's also his only second year as a head coach. You don't know what he could turn into, right? Like, you don't know. But right now, I'm not sitting here saying you're ever going to be Parcells or a Harbaugh, or, but if you can come close, shit, why not, right? I think, whether it's the Giants or the Cowboys or just in general, right? Like, I think one of the things you think back to, and now I didn't play football, organized football. I was always, pick up game, stuff, go out on the hard top and let's run around like idiots and play football. But like some of the things that were lost in football were those hard-nosed practices, the Oklahoma drill. Like, you can't even do that in the NFL now. Like, literally, it's a fine. Like, the organization gets one, the coach gets one.
Oh,
like,
no, yeah. Well,
it's a fine, right? Like,
in the name of player safety.
yeah, which we both have agreed on for years now. They don't actually give a shit about player safety. They just care about the money, and they know the big-name players on the field get more money. So I think you look at this, overall, right? Like, and, preseason in general. I don't know about you. I actually watched the Hall of Fame game on Thursday. And
I'll be honest, I didn't watch one minute.
And just to be clear here, because I think it was last week I said, yeah, I'm not going to watch a second of it. But I'm back to, full swing of work, and one of my responsibilities, I got to listen to my sales reps' calls and see how they're running their calls, make sure that, give them coaching, feedback, all that stuff. Well, I do it on Thursday nights, and I started doing it on Thursday nights last year because I'm like, I could put the game on, mute the game, listen to the call, but at least this way I'm not just staring. Like, we use a deck, right? Mm-hmm. Well, the deck doesn't change very much. You know what I mean? I don't really care what's in the deck because I've seen the deck more times than I care to freaking count. It's what they're saying that matters, right? That's the stuff I'm listening for. That's the stuff I'm paying attention to. So being able to put the game on gives me the ability to actually look at something that doesn't make me want to just put my head through a wall while I'm still doing my actual job, right? So I ended up putting the Hall of Fame game on. Now, I didn't put it on until halfway through the second quarter. It was a hell of a game. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, most of these guys that you saw play by the third and fourth quarter aren't going to be on an NFL roster come September, or if they are, they're practice squad guys. But it turned into a hell of a game. It was only the fourth time ever that a Hall of Fame game broke 60 points. Ended with a walk-off touchdown to win the game. You had lead changes. Both teams scored over 30. Like, for a preseason game, I was like, shit, this is pretty awesome. And it gave me something to distract me, not to want to put my head through a wall. So I was quite impressed and happy. And I was like, shit, go you, right? Like, but what I liked more than anything, right, and it kind of ties back to what you were saying about Harbaugh, right, and what 20 whatever straight wins in the preseason, and he takes it seriously, right. Seeing the coaches and the guys on the field and how much effort and energy they put into it, there was a respect factor there for me, right. And I think one of the biggest things that you don't want to see one of your main players go down in preseason, but you kind of like to see him get out and run a series. Right? Like, put your starting offense out there, and if they go 3 and out, guess what? You're going the hell back out there. You go score a touchdown, you're done for the night.
We've talked about that. Teams not doing that and not putting in any of their starters is what's caused such stumbles at the beginning of regular seasons, and that's why the regular season, the first 3 weeks, looks like the preseason, because these guys aren't getting the reps that they used to get years ago to get that continuity that they need. Yeah. You're 100% right.
Those training camp combo practices, like Dallas practice today against the Rams, right? Like, I understand these guys take it seriously, but like, they're not allowed. Like, if a guy comes across the middle, you can't just put your shoulder into his chest and take him out in a practice. You can't do it. If you do it, you're gonna have a giant fight in the middle of the practice. It turns into a huge problem, and
Well, I was also thinking too,
fan, right?
Shout out to, well, not shout out, but condolences to the Jets, because I guess somebody went down at their joint practice today.
Yeah, no,
I forgot, that's why I was looking at the computer, because I was like, oh, what was his name? I completely blanked on it, but I felt terrible about it, because you never want to see somebody go down like that, especially. Thankfully, it wasn't because of a cheap shot or something stupid, and there was no brawl, but apparently it was Quantez Stiggers. Yeah,
it looks like he came to the sideline and just passed out. I mean, it was pretty hot and humid in Florham Park today.
Absolutely, but you just never want to see people go down like that.
I work about maybe a 10-minute drive from where the Jets practice, and it was hot and humid and probably not the most comfortable weather to be running around and hitting on people and things like that. But like, I mean, I was wearing jeans and a polo and, a quick lap around our parking lot just to get out of the office to stretch the legs. Like, I was sweating. You know, like not dripping sweat, like, but I was a little clammy, you know, like, so I can only imagine if I'm running around in pads and, you know, chasing people or getting chased. But it said, let's see if he's okay, though. I don't know if this is updated. This was updated 2:30, so about 5 hours ago. For the most part, he was good. Yeah, I think he's okay.
I think he's okay. But you just never want to see somebody go down.
I mean, hopefully it was just like a hydration thing, right? Like, I mean, if it just passed out, hopefully it was just hydration and just something that, you know, you're like, okay, like, let's make sure, here's some liquid IV. Like, let's make sure we're, you know, drinking plenty of fluids. But yeah, no, that stuff's always scary. And like every single time, every morning now, like you always, like, I don't know about you, but like I forget until preseason and training camp starts the nerves every time you open up social media or you look at a news outlet that follows your team, because you're just like, please no injuries, right? Like Washington had a huge injury. Larry Tunzel, their starting left tackle.
Yeah, I was talking actually with my brother-in-law, stopped by earlier today. He's a Commanders fan, so he was talking to me about it, and I was like, no, I didn't even hear about that one yet. He was like, they just lost
tore his
Tunzel.
tricep. I mean, they expect him to be able to return, but it's also kind of connected to, like, where's their season at, too, right? Like, if they're fighting for something, like, hey, I'm sure he's going to come back, right? If they're out of it.
The NFC East is going to be a fight this year.
I agree.
I'm going to say because I think the Giants are going to be better. I think the Commanders are going to be better. He likes the Diggs signing, so he's pumped up about the Diggs signing. He thinks that's going to help the offense.
I mean, he's better than some of the other guys they have. He's just not the guy
Him
he
and
was.
McLaurin, he's just, you know, it's all right. They got a good combo. They got, Debo still. So they got...
No, Debo went back to San Francisco.
That's right, he did. Yeah. So, but it's still Diggs, McLaurin. They got Krosky, Mary. They got weapons.
They got some play. If Jaden Daniels is healthy, they're a problem.
Well, that's just it. And Tunzel going down... Now you got to
nervous
about Jaden Daniels' health,
and also they have one of the worst fields in the entire league, right? We all remember what happened to RG3, right? Like,
and then as far as Philly goes, just to touch on all the teams here, since we kind of touched on your Cowboys a little bit.
I mean, that is our world, right? We can talk about
more of our world
divisions,
but a lot of that,
that's
it
our
sounds
world.
like Philly is a little bit higher right now on Jalen Hurts than they were in like years past, which sounds weird to say, but I'm hearing good things out of their camp about Hurts.
I saw something about him looking a little faster and a little more athletic.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's kind of hard to do as you get older, but I mean, look, when it's all said and done.
Contract, but that's what it is. He's coming up on? Is Philly going to stick with him or not? Again, I think this year is a big year for quarterbacks, and I think because if he's really unhappy or if Philly's really unhappy with him, then yeah, it doesn't surprise me that maybe he's getting in a little better shape, going to try to have his best season to make sure that if it don't work, but if it doesn't work here with Philly, that somebody's going to want him. Somebody's going to want to pay him to be their guy. Maybe it's the Jets. Maybe it's somebody else. I think Baker's another guy coming out. I think Baker could have a huge year, and that's even without his best target in Mike Evans.
Yeah.
But Mbuka, God, all the other weapons they have, they got weapons there too. I think Baker is coming out with a vengeance because he's on a prove-it year, and he wants money. He wants to be a quarterback.
He made it known he was not happy that the contract didn't get done.
So, but again, he's another guy that's staying in camp, not holding out, whatever. I think he's coming in. It might light a fire. It might be a one-year wonder because, again, how many of these guys, like we talked about the year Daniel Jones had a great year and whatever, he was coming in playing for a new coach, whatever else. You got to watch those years because there are guys that come in and they're playing for a certain reason. And you may think that they play like that all the time, but they don't. They're playing for a certain reason. And right now, he is a guy playing for a certain reason.
The first time I ever remember that happening was Albert Hainsworth. Remember the first ever $100 million contract in the NFL. And now Dallas just gave Quinnen Williams $100 and something million 3-year extension, which I'm beyond happy about because they actually...
He's a good player.
Well, not just that. They actually did it the right way.
Roll Tide.
They get it done before the season's over so that he doesn't have all the negotiating power. And now you open up cap space so that you can make moves before you go into the season if there's a piece or two you want to change, add, whatever, right? Like, I was very, very happy to see that they were actually ahead of the game because I can't remember the last time they were ahead of the game, right? So, but I think to your point overall, right, with the quarterbacks, I think Mayfield should have a good year. Jaden Daniels, I think they'll be a little cautious with him to start the year, let him kind of get his feet under him. Jalen Hurts, contract year or not, Jalen Hurts is going to be a statistically good quarterback, right? Like, his yards he's not going to be a 5,000-yard, 40-plus touchdown passer, but if he's giving you 3,300 yards, 20-something passing touchdowns, and then another 1,000 yards rushing and another 10 rushing touchdowns. What the hell else can you ask for from the guy, right? I saw it today. What's it? Not I can't remember his name on ESPN. He's got the long, or not ESPN, Fox. He's got like the long
Nick
Nick
Wright.
Nick Wright. Yeah. I wanted to say Nick Nurse, but that's the head coach of Philly. I was getting the Knicks mixed up. He was talking about Philly. He's like, I could see them winning 14 games, but I could also see them winning 7. Like, they're the team that I think has the widest range. He was doing a segment with...
I think they're going to be good. I got to be honest. I look at them, and I think they just have too much talent.
Just defensively alone, how are they not going to be good? Like, you basically can't run the ball against them.
No, and then on the other side of the ball, they run it well, whether it's a two-headed monster with Hurts and Barkley or just their offense in general usually runs pretty well. So, I mean, I look at it, I think they're going to be a good team. Yeah. I think they're going to be, I don't think they're a 14-win team, but I realistically think that they're, and this is just an honest opinion, and I hate to say it because it hurts my heart slightly, but I think that they're the best team in the division. Looking at the division as a whole right now, I want the Giants to be the best team in the division, but over the last few years and track record wise, I look at it and they lost AJ Brown, but they pick up Lemon in the draft to replace him. They still have plenty of weapons on offense. They still have a great defense. And until somebody takes them off the top of the mountain, I got to think they're going to stay there. So I'm going to leave them there for now. I think the Eagles are one, and then I think everybody else is kind of bunched up. I think Dallas, the Giants, and depending on what the Commanders can do, I think the Commanders are 4th right now. But but that's just me, and I know I got a little bit of a Giant bias. But I think that the Giants and the Cowboys are almost more of an even playing field. The Cowboys a slight step up just because they've been a little better over the last 10 years.
If you had the Giants defensive front with Dallas's offense, and I think they could take that combo could take Philly off the top of the mountain.
I think the Giants offense is going to be better. Can I just say real quick? How can you not be pumped up as a Giant fan hearing the news about Malik Neighbors and just his production and what he's been able to do, running, cutting, wearing helmets and pads, like doing actual football things?
Yeah.
To hear the actual reporters out there saying, it's actually nowhere near far-fetched to think he's ready for week 1.
Yeah.
That's amazing, considering when we talked before we went on break, every report out there was his knee's sketchy, and you'll be lucky to get him by week 4, like 3, 4, 5 somewhere. No. Like it might start on the pup list,
it's the
whatever.
Like being in your early 20s, right? Your body definitely heals up a lot better than it does now.
And I am so happy to hear that Odell it seems to be working out a little bit with Odell. It seems to be trending in a positive direction with Odell. He's again still going to be like the 5th or 6th receiver on the roster, but it sounds like he actually may make the squad. He's making a lot of great catches. His body is holding up. He's taking reps with the first team. He's acting, looking, sounding every bit like a professional and a person that I want on the team. Because again, I was one of those Giants fans.
He learned his lessons.
I'm one of those Giants fans that I look back and I'm like, man, when he was here, he was special, but his antics got a little much. So I was okay when he left, but at the same point, I am so happy that he came back and he's going to end the career here because regardless, whether it ends in the preseason and he doesn't get on the roster or not, just the fact that I'm back, see him catching balls, see him being a part of the organization again. He was Rookie of the Year, damn it. I mean, had the catch against Dallas. I mean, I literally just gifted that. I had a photo I gifted it to a friend of mine's son for his birthday of the catch just this past weekend. I am so pumped that Odell
one of the sickest catches I've ever seen in my life.
Right, and to have him back and playing well and at a level that, like I said, it's almost like he might have found a little bit of a fountain of youth. That he found a little bit where. Gave him a little pep in his step, and he's come back. But I mean, the other day at the end of practice, I think it was either the first practice back here in New Jersey or the last practice down in West Virginia. He stayed after practice with Dart, Neighbors, and Likely. The 4 of them stayed and just did back of the end zone catches, just did corner catches, just did fades, just did shit like that, and just worked on that kind of stuff.
I think that's a very big under the radar signing. Is not OBJ, but Likely. I think that's a big.
They're already
under the
saying he's
radar
probably
sign.
going to be the number 2. That Harbaugh loved him with the Ravens, that they didn't utilize him to his full potential there, but that's part of the reason they wanted.
Like Mark Andrews.
Well, that's why. But here he's the guy, and not to push Theo Johnson aside, because I think he's got talent and upside too.
He's got a role. Theo Johnson has a role.
But
on the
I
team.
think Blakely is just more athletic.
Oh yeah.
He's more receiver-esque than a Theo Johnson, and that's okay. But
Likely is a guy you could line up on the outside as a wide receiver and then put Theo Johnson in it. Like, they're going to have packages with both of them, especially once you get inside that 20. You're going to have, I mean, they're, both of them are 6'5"?
Yeah, no, they're
6'6".
big.
Like you put guys on the field in that
and that's what I mean. And then you pair that up with a Neighbors and an Odell who can go up and get the ball. You put high point guys out there. Dude, like all of a sudden now you've got your defensive backs. You got anybody out there under 6 foot, they're in trouble.
Even if they are 6 foot, they better have a 40+ inch vertical. But look, I think right, and we're
there's a lot of reasons to be excited as a Giant.
My favorite part of this conversation, right, is to think about the fact that like we are just a couple weeks away from the games mattering, right, and actually meaning something. Is mattering? That does not
matters. Games that matter.
Matter.
Games that matter.
Yeah, matter. I don't think mattering is an actual word. Sorry to my wife, who's an English teacher, if I just made up a fake word. But I what excites me about this, right, is realizing that we haven't even had our first roster cuts yet, right? Like you haven't even had that. There's still veterans that are out there that can make your team better, that basically every team in the league right now is just trying to see what their young guys look like. And, hey, do I got to go actually pay some guy, a couple million compared to giving you the rookie minimum, right? Like, so there's still some moves that teams are going to make, right? And that's the thing with those veteran guys is that it's a lot easier to kind of bring them in and they'll catch up because of the experience and all that. But, like, preseason officially kicks off. Well, technically in the
Thursday,
NFL's
right?
eyes, it kicked off last Thursday, but it officially kicks off this Thursday. You got Thursday, Friday, Saturday games.
They're already conditioning you for all week football.
Oh yeah, it's exciting, right? It's that time of year, right? It's
exciting, but at the same point in time, we've already talked about how it pisses the both of us off that we got to wait until 8:00 on Sunday night.
So pissed.
So it's like, it's so great that it's bad. No, but I still got to wait to see my team. Man.
I got to literally wait.
So it's not so great because that's the other thing is if your team plays on Thursday, now you got nobody to watch the rest of the week. So it's like one of those things that like, I really wish it just stuck to the Sundays.
They have a Wednesday game to start the year, a Thursday game to start the year, and then Sunday. They're not doing. I don't think there's a Monday or there's one Monday game. That's why there's the Wednesday game because they're not doing 2 games on Monday, which I also think is idiotic. But look, a lot to look forward to. But what I can also tell you is you have something to look forward to because whatever Janice is making downstairs is just. Remember the cartoons, right? Where like they put the pie in the window. And like it would just come and then it just go like this and then grab by the nostrils and just pull and their asses be in the air just floating. I don't know what the hell she's making.
It's I believe like a little bolognese. She's making a little
my god,
little pasta bolognese.
That smells so good.
So before we go though, we gotta hit one more topic.
You
and I'm
had
sorry.
something for me.
No. So we're gonna hit that at the end.
Okay.
So, and that's it. That's just a part of the outro. So that's nothing. That's nothing that we're doing.
All right.
But there is no way we could sit here this week and sit here and say we talk more WNBA than anybody else and not talk WNBA with the controversy. Please tell me you saw what DeJounte Carrington did to Sophie Cunningham, the clothesline.
Oh, yeah.
You had to have seen the clothesline.
Yeah.
It's been everywhere.
Yeah. I thought you were going to bring up Enos Cantor.
Oh, no, we're bringing that up next. So these are the 2 things. So, because one is going to lead me into the other. Because Sophie was the enforcer. Now, I'm encouraging the Indiana Fever to draft Enos Cantor with whatever pick they can, Enos Freedom Cantor, to be the new protector for both Sophie and Caitlin and just wreck shop. But anyway, I digress. To go back to Sophie, that was a WWE-style clothesline that the fact that she could go on Twitter afterwards and write anything other than I'm sorry blows my mind. Like... Dude, that isn't even close to a basketball play. We haven't played professionally. We've only played street ball, whatever. That's fine.
You don't even do that in a
You
street
don't
ball
do
game.
that. That's fighting words. If you did that in a street ball game, the person is getting up and swinging at you. You are in a physical altercation. That is, you chose violence.
Yes.
You chose it.
You accepted what's coming.
No, Sophie didn't. It's not like she threw an elbow. She was going up. Now, we've all seen hard fouls. I am for a hard foul. I am for not giving everybody a layup. Don't
go
give it
for
to
the
her.
ball.
Or go for her arms. Go for a different part of the body. You went head and neck. Specific.
It was bad.
It was as bad a foul as you can have. So the fact that she could have any argument over getting suspended or thrown out of that game, you got to have your head examined. You need a mental evaluation before you're allowed back in the league. If you think that that's okay.
Back. Yeah, no, that was one of the
dirty.
They're like, and you know it's dirty too, because when she goes up, like at first you're like, oh, she's going for the ball, and then she literally like
turns her arm.
She turns her, like she pulls her hand
Yeah.
away from the ball to ensure that she doesn't just catch her in the neck, that she gets her so that it's gonna happen.
Oh, yeah.
You are going to the
Down.
ground. And that, to your point, right? That is some, look, I've never been a violent person in my life. Ever been
If
a violent person.
I do that to you, even if we're best friends.
You do that to me on a basketball
We're
court,
fighting.
I am getting up and punching you in the nose.
Yes.
Like, not
Yes.
hesitating. I'm not thinking about it. No. There are lines. Like, this goes to the whole, like, fist, like...
Yeah. They're lines you don't cross.
The WNBA, if they don't get this shit together, is
gonna
going to ruin their league. Sophie Cunningham is a very talented player. Caitlin Clark, you were like, what are we doing?
I don't know if it's jealousy. I don't know if it's something else. But they're almost self-sabotaging.
Yeah.
And there's no need for it. We all want to be pumped up about it.
Yeah.
That's
what I mean. I have a daughter now.
Never been better. I mean, what Caitlin Clark is doing in just 25 minutes a game, if you look at her stats, she's averaging like 26 points, damn near a triple-double, and she's only playing like 25 minutes a game. You look at what her teammate Kelsey Mitchell is doing. Girl's an absolute stud. You look around the WNBA, there are actual legitimate, really good players. Not Angel Reese, but the rest of them. There are a lot of really good players out there.
It's the me-bound.
Queen me-bound. Well, you know what I mean? Like, that's the one exception where I'm like, I don't know if she's the star everybody makes her out to be. Everybody else is, honest to God...
You need to start sharing those videos on our.
So I'm going to share the surprise now because we're getting close to the end of the show. I'm going to play it along with our outro song. So it's going to be underneath our outro song so that everybody can hear.
You need to start sharing those on our Facebook page.
I have to, right?
As long as you just give credit to the guy that makes it so he can't come and be like, whatever, right? But like, you've got to start sharing those, man, because I am telling you that is... Right, like we grew it by, hey, please like our fan page, right? Those are the videos that people share, that people that we never would have met or talked to in our entire lives would like our Facebook page, and then we help that guy grow his stuff, and then maybe we get that guy on the show, right? Like, how'd you come up with this idea? Where'd you, like,
dude,
like, tell me the story.
But the fact that he does it for every game.
That's what I mean.
He's every game.
He's on
it's
episode
not even
31, I think, was the last one you said.
But I think it's literally once again, like every game, including like the preseason. And dude,
the best on the one you sent me today. Even a blind squirrel finds a nut and she hits a 3, and then she shoots another. It's like, but they only find one.
butter pecan, bang! Oh my god, dude, it's hysterical. But anyway, so to get back to the WNBA, fix your shit. Because you're going to ruin what could be absolute greatness right now. We've talked about it. This should be the come up. This should be their bird magic. This should be their come up. This should be their your flowers, your glory. Everybody's starting to get behind you. Don't wreck the momentum.
Yeah, you just got your new CBA. And look, if you're a player in the league and you're jealous because you've been doing it for years, and now Caitlin Clark or these younger girls are coming in and they're the ones getting the attention for the groundwork you laid. Well, guess what? Jerry West, Bob Cousy, these guys didn't get all the hype and everything that Michael Jordan got. But Michael Jordan knew that he wouldn't be who he was if it wasn't for those guys. And I guarantee you, if you actually gave Caitlin Clark the chance, she would say, if it wasn't for Elisa Leslie, I wouldn't be here, right?
Yep.
Like, it is the original generations that play the games to lay the foundation and the platform for the new generations to take the game to where you wished it was when you played. You can't change that. If you're in the league now, but you've been in for 8-10 years and you're like, I don't understand, like this, like you've got to hold those you got to push those feelings down. Go talk to a therapist about it. I don't care. Yep. But don't go clothesline a girl that's going to help you make $1 million instead of $50,000. Like, this is the difference that you're costing yourself this, and it's not the game. Basketball was never meant to be played to this type of
and that's going to bring me to that last
other
point.
Players.
That's going to bring me to the last point because the WNBA also wasn't meant to be played by men.
No,
the W in WNBA stands for women.
Yes,
or it, as far as I understood, it stood for women.
Well, the Enos Kanter thing is a joke.
No. He went through it.
He went through it, but he went through with it as a joke.
Oh,
if you actually read through that, like I read the Yahoo Sports article, like he basically was like, I can't believe this is even a conversation. So if you're gonna have the conversation,
we're gonna have
I'm gonna be a part of it.
Oh yeah.
Like he did it like
but he's forcing their hand now. He's forcing the WNBA to be able to not have to fucking deal with this stuff anymore.
It's a women's professional league.
Leave it that way. There shouldn't be any question.
Yeah.
Shouldn't be any question.
No.
But that was the last thing I wanted to bring up there was just that.
Me bad. Oh my God. I'm very curious to see how this sounds. I don't even care if it sounds bad. I'm just excited to hear
Me either. Yeah. It's just something that I feel like our audience needs to hear.
Yeah. So and you really like you need to share this on our page. Just make sure to credit the guy who makes them so we don't have problems.
All right. So I think I'm good here. So let me see a second. I gotta find him. Gotta find me my Angel Reese, part 31.
I can't even. Butter pica!
All right, here we go.
Well, shout out to everybody. I mean,
thank you all for listening. I hope everybody enjoys this, by the way.
We had Carl, we had the Dad Huddle, we had our Fighting Irish. I'm sure others were listening. Shout out to my friend Stacy, who messaged me the other day. She's like, I popped in on your show and listened for a little bit. Shout out to her. Shout out to anybody and everybody that listened, whether you were in the chat, not in the chat. If you're going to listen later, we really appreciate you guys.
Like, subscribe, follow, share.
Shout out to our boy Mike.
Do all those free fun things for us, like Mike would say. And, follow Dave at David Hastings 23 on Instagram, at Dave Hastings 23
David Hastings 23 on X, formerly known as Twitter.
Dave Hastings 23 on Instagram.
D Hastings.
See, I go Dave.
All these years. D Hastings 23 on IG, David Hastings 23 on X, formerly known as Twitter. The living legend.
On X.
I mean, that's a hard name to forget, though, right? Like,
and I'm never giving it up. It's one that I got in the early days of Twitter.
Like, you could probably sell that. You know that, right?
I probably
there are people that buy Twitter handles. Like, that one you could probably sell.
Probably, but to be honest,
you could probably sell.
It's what kind of price do you put on it? But either way, follow Louie at Louie O's, do it our official third co-host who's downstairs whining that he couldn't get up here tonight with us. And until next time, I mean, live like a champ. And I hope this goes off as well as I hope it does. And everybody has some fun with it. So
this is going to be so exciting. Did you?
Bridge's newest product, and it's a tech product.
Oh, you got it. He got an ad.
Oh, no.
He had such a great game plan.
No, I got fired. It's like a minute. Well, no, wait, yep.
You can't trademark meatballs without trademarking Preps. Give it to them. How about it? Bang! Rebound! Hurry up! Bang! I know there's a lot of AI slop out there, but this is really how they guard her. Won't believe it, but it happened. Even a blind squirrel can find a nut. Eventually. Bang. All right, back to our scheduled program. Me throw. Bang! I'll say something about a nut, like a peanut butter. Butter? Butter pecan! Burn! Everything she does looks so clunky. How do you consistently jump off the wrong foot? Burn! Get in between a dog and its bone. Don't get in between Angel Reese and her own missed shots. B-Bones! Body's hitting the deck! Burn! I ain't done yet.
Yeah, let me whisper in your ear. Do you like them prey-ups?